welcome to Upper Echelon Matchmaking Podcast. I am Shay, matchmaker and owner of Upper Echelon Matchmaking. Tonight we're going to be discussing dating with children, and I'm here joined with my soror, Crystal Bennett.
Hi.
And she's also a fellow single mom, and we're going to talk about what it's like to be dating with children.
Yes.
Let's get into it. Okay, so you have a 3-year-old?
I do have a 3-year-old.
Okay, a little girl?
A little girl.
Yes.
She is off the chain.
Well, the apple don't fall too far from the tree, from what I remember.
Just a smidge.
And I also have a 3-year-old. Our kids are a month apart.
Yes.
Actually. So, let's talk about, what dating was like. For those who don't know, what dating was like before you had Kyle. And now we'll get into what it's like now that you have a little girl.
Okay, so dating before Kyle, let's say, was lit.
Yes, I recall.
As they say today, I was outside.
She was outside.
I was overseas.
Yeah.
I was everywhere.
Yes, you were in these streets.
Yes,
Yes.
every day of the week.
Yes.
And then, I was single and I didn't really have any responsibilities. So it's kind of like, hey, you want to go to Vegas on Thursday? I'm like, cool, let me put this PTO in, let's go.
Right.
I was out there having a great time.
Yes.
But now that I have a baby.
Girl, you shocked the world when you even announced that you were pregnant, because you didn't tell nobody you were pregnant. As I recall, you were like 9 months pregnant when we saw the picture.
Yeah, surprise.
Nobody even knew. I could just feel the sensation of men's hearts breaking and throwing their phones when you posted this picture in a cat suit, mind you,
and
with a big belly.
It was a cute picture though. It said old Atlanta and new Atlanta with little baby feet on it.
Yes, it was cute.
Yeah.
It was cute. But yeah, I can just imagine them being like, what? Because I was getting phone calls. How I know is I got phone calls. Like, did you see your girl posted a picture? She pregnant.
And why didn't you call me and tell me?
Girl, because it was just too funny to me.
Like,
I was just laughing about
hit me with the tea.
Oh, yeah. So you broke some hearts when you announced that you were pregnant.
I did not know that. That's cool though.
So now you're back on the market dating?
I'm in holding.
You're in holding. You let somebody put you on hold?
It's not like that.
Okay.
I agreed to the hold.
You agreed to the hold.
I did.
So you're taking a break.
We're taking a break.
Okay. So dating now that you have a child, how is that different? Like, what do you do? Where do you meet these men?
Honestly, I meet them through friends.
Most of the time.
Or if I'm out and about, maybe at like a bar or something, I kind of got to fill you out a little bit before like I give you the digits. But if you give me good vibes, then I may just give you the number at the end of the night, and then we can go from there.
So what kind of things are you looking for now that you're a mommy?
Someone who's consistent, who's honest.
Women say consistency the most.
Yes.
Whenever they tell me what they're
Yes.
looking for, consistency is always number one.
Yes, like don't start something and then get me used to how this works 4 months in, and then all of a sudden you switch it up. Like, sir, no, like, where's my flowers on Tuesday?
Right.
Where's my phone call in the morning?
Right.
Like, what are we doing?
They do have an issue of falling off
right.
at some point.
I don't like that. Don't fall off. Don't fall off. Because if you fall off, you just gonna fall. And
right.
You fail.
Yeah. Listen, I'm outside. I'm in these streets myself, and I'm dating about 4 and a possible.
Oh, okay.
I'm having a good time, but I will tell you, last night I went on a date. And the young man was like, okay, so I understand that it costs you money every time we get together. You get hair, makeup, you get your outfit together. And you get a babysitter. He was like, how much is the babysitter? I'll cover it. And I was like, okay, sir. He shot me the Zelle, paid for the babysitter.
Okay.
That's $300. Who ain't gonna take that?
I hope he got date number 2.
Girl, that was, we going out tomorrow again.
Yeah, as you should.
No, I mean, he got major points for that because it does cost. Every time we get ready to leave the house, we have to make sure they're okay.
Exactly.
And it has to be somewhere safe, somewhere that we can trust.
Right.
And just understanding that. Now, I've never asked anybody to cover it, but if you want to volunteer, I am definitely going to be appreciative of it because
I'm
it costs.
accepting of that.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. You want to see me? Then help me see you.
Right.
Yeah, because
exactly.
I try to go out But then I may have used up all my babysitting coupons from my mom.
Right.
So I'm just like,
listen, my mama is the G for babysitting Ava all the time. But I get
Right.
it. Sometimes you need to give them a break. And my
Right.
mama dating right now, so I have to give her a break. Because she
Hey.
have a little boo thing, and I
Hey.
have to give her a break.
and I'm proud of mom.
Right, me too, and I support it. So I'm like, you know what, Shay, you got to invest, and you
Right.
have to have a sitter because if you want to date, this is what comes with the territory.
Right. I need a date. They need like a nice, just date babysitting service.
Yes, just for
Yeah,
that.
I just need you for like 3 hours.
That's it, about 3
You
hours,
know,
3,
and
4
then you
hours.
can charge me more if I call you and say, hey, this going good.
It's gonna be overnight.
You know
then
what
I
I'm saying?
understand.
Oh, it's overnight.
No, I'm just saying if you need it to be.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
You got to
sometimes-
spend the night bed.
Sometimes you need that, make that call. But no, so dating, let's talk about what you're looking for in the types of men that you date now that you're a mommy.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's still kind of the same. I love an intelligent man.
Yeah.
I like somebody who's kind of a chameleon who I can bring to different settings and they not necessarily blend in.
Yeah.
But they can kind of just mix and mingle with whatever crowd it is.
From the boardroom to the barbecue.
Exactly. You know, if
yeah.
I'm at a trap
Right,
karaoke,
right,
I
right.
want you to, go sing some lyrics
Absolutely.
to 8 Ball and MJG with me on
Absolutely.
stage. You know,
Absolutely.
if I'm at a corporate dinner,
Yes.
I need you to put on that suit.
Speaking of suit, if you 35, 40 and you don't have a suit, sir, step your
Tailored.
game
I
up.
need to be tailored though.
All of it. You can't get it right off the
Right.
rack. No Steve Harvey big pants.
Thank you.
None of that.
I should not be able to put my finger here and pull it out at least 4 inches.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, I think
No.
at 35, you need to have your grown man on.
Thank
and
you.
you need to have
And
a
please
nice
don't
suit.
wear square toe shoes. who wear them?
All of those things. I tell people all the time that your look is so important.
It is.
I tell ladies that you need to have a look that catches. You got to have some catch clothes. You got to have, when you step out the house, you got to look like you trying to catch. Because there's a difference between dressing when you're married, when you're taken,
Right.
and dressing when you're trying to catch. And
Right.
if you're single, you need to look like you're trying to catch.
Yes.
A lot of people don't
Some
have
bait.
catch clothes.
Yeah.
You'd be surprised, like really successful professional ladies have zero catch clothes. If you hear a noise, my daughter Ava is here in the studio, so my apologies. But yeah, I think that it's important that women, you dress to showcase, like, yeah, come at me.
Right.
Gotta have that.
I had some bait clothes. I still have them.
Yeah, you gotta
They're-
pull them
they're
out
in the
sometime.
closet. You gotta pull them out. Remind yourself. I still got it a little bit.
Remind
Maybe
him
somebody-
too. He gotta be reminded that
That's
you
true.
still got it.
That's true. You
Yes.
know, oh, I pull it out. Sheer sides. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Body suit. Oh,
Yes.
Had a flashback of when I was outside.
No, but I think it's important, like, especially when you turn 40, like we have, I think it's important to keep the sexy.
Yes.
And because you're not an old maid.
No, I don't.
And you still got it. And you need to showcase it sometimes.
Right. I don't look my age.
No.
So, I need to make sure that y'all don't know how old I am.
Right. Keep folks guessing.
Right.
So speaking of which, would you date younger?
Of course.
Yeah. I'm dating younger right now. And I'm
As
liking
you
it.
should.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm dating younger.
Now, I will only go like 5 or 6 years under.
Right.
Because I feel like at that age, we still know the same things.
Of course.
Like
Music,
right? You're not
references.
listening to the Temptations, and I was listening to Soul for Real. You know what I mean?
Oh, Lord Jesus.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
though?
you want to have points of references that are the same.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is for me, I struggle dating old. If I date older, I feel like, what are you talking about, sir? I was
Right.
not alive then.
You know
But
what
I
I'm
really
saying?
don't. So for me,
Right.
dating younger makes more sense. And also, I mean, let's get into this. When you date older, sometimes they don't be functional,
Ooh.
and I don't have time for it.
Thank God I have never ran into
Well,
that
it's
problem.
out there, sis. So I'm just saying it's out there, and and no offense, but it's just not for me. I'm just not. That's not what I'm looking
Right.
for.
I mean, but if they had a pill, they work. Right?
Sometimes it don't work.
It still don't work when they take the pill?
Yeah, I've experienced where that didn't work. So for me, and for me, that needs to not be the issue.
Okay.
So I tend to date
Younger.
a few years younger.
Gotcha.
I'm not talking about 10, 15, but just
Okay.
just
Gotcha.
a few years. Yeah.
So they still got a little blood.
I
flow.
gotta have that. Yeah. That's not even optional. Yeah, and you gotta have your stuff together.
Yes.
Because one of the things that I think is important when you are successful
Mm-hmm.
is a lot of women want men at par with them. It's like You know what I'm
But
saying?
that's kind of hard. I feel like, especially with black women, you know, with us being the most educated.
The
you
most
know.
educated. Let's speak on that, because sometimes we tend, but the education means we tend to make more.
Right.
And so, but when I say at par, it's not dollar for dollar.
Right.
It's just same category,
Okay.
same, you know, if you're at 20,000 and she's at 85, y'all are not in the same ballpark.
No, not at all.
And so your lifestyles will be different. And the
Very
things
much
she's
so.
going to want to do, you can't do.
That's true.
Because you get $400 a week and that ain't it.
That's not it.
So I'm not saying dollar for dollar.
Right.
But just, or what would you prefer? What do you?
Of course. I mean, if I'm giving preferences, of course, make twice as more than me.
Of
You know what
course,
I'm
but
saying?
that's not always realistic.
That's not always.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you make a little bit less than me, or at where I am, or a little bit more, I don't care.
Yeah,
You know what I
just
mean?
somewhere around.
Because there's other value that you can provide that I can't do.
Absolutely.
I'm not getting out to mow the lawn.
Right.
Thank you. That's $100 you just saved me
Thank
that month.
you, yeah.
I'm not fixing the electricity when it like messes up and I
Yeah.
don't figure out how to do it with the box. Thank you. That
Yeah.
was a $75 trip.
And that's
you
a
saved
value
me.
add. No, and that's what I
Yeah.
say too. Like, and also, I find that when I take off a lot of these restrictions that so many women have, I have a larger pool to choose from.
Right.
So, like I said, if I'm dating for an impossible, some women be like, I can't even find 4 men that I like. But that's because you're restricting who can date you
That's
and who you can date, because you have like this. They got to be these things that only 2 people in the world have. Then, then you're not gonna find anybody.
That's true. That's true.
So you have to, I think, keep an open mind. And there's some things you can bend on. Not everything,
No.
but some things you can
Some
bend
things you can. I'll bend a little bit,
on. Yeah.
but I'm not breaking.
I'm not going to break, sis.
No.
That's true. I will bend, but not break.
Right.
That's a valid point.
Yes.
All right. So let's talk about the men that you date. Do you have a preference on if they have children or not?
Okay, so before I had my little person, I did not want to date men with children.
Really?
I did not. No. I mean, because being that I guess if we both didn't have kids, we can kind of focus on each other. You know, it was more time just between us, you know, and I'm an only child, so I'm selfish. I want my time.
At least you admit
Like,
it.
I want you. Like, you know, so I figured if he didn't have kids and I didn't have kids, it was perfect.
Yeah.
You know, but now that I've had a child, I understand, you know, okay, some of your time is going to be given away.
Yeah.
So I have to, you know, either get right or get left for the
Yeah.
most part. You know, he has to understand that some of my time is going to be taken away too. So, like I said, get right or get left. So
Yeah.
it's just, you know, I guess I had to change my thought process once I had a child.
Yeah.
But now I don't want like people with 3, 4 kids. And if you have older kids, that's great too.
Yeah, a lot of times when you're dating men, you know, 40 and up, they tend
Right.
to have grown children.
Yeah,
Even
they
30,
do.
38 and up, they tend to have grown children.
That's true, that's
and so that, like, I have a grown child too. And so when I talk about dating as a parent, I'm really not even factoring him in. He's 20 years old. I'm not
Right.
factoring him. I'm talking about Ava, who's 3.
Right.
So, and that's what they do too. They'll be like, yeah, I have grown kids, but we're talking about the ones that are in the house that you have to take care of. Those are the ones we factor
Like, are
in.
you down to go see Frozen?
Correct. Can we do
Because
Frozen on
that's-
Ice
you know,
together?
because that's what we gonna have to do one day if
Yes.
you want to see me.
Yes.
I done used up all my baby coupons, so let's do it.
Let's talk about that. I was on a date last week. A guy went, the same guy that paid for the babysitter.
Okay.
As a matter of fact, he was like, I want to see you. And I was like, well, I'm on mommy duty. He was like, let's go to Dave & Buster's. He knew I had Ava. We met at Dave & Buster's. He had the card charged up with tickets.
yeah, you know I had the key for
He
that.
had cased the place and was like, this has more age appropriate rides for her. Yes.
I
And-
like him, whoever you are,
I
Mr.
like
Man.
him too. Points for boo.
Yes.
But yeah, like, and so he understood that, again, if you want my time,
Right.
I'm a single mom, and it comes with being able to be flexible,
Right.
and understanding that.
I like that.
Yeah, I like that too. He
Yeah.
doesn't have any kids, and so yes, that's one of the things that
Ooh.
I was like, right, I like you, boo.
Hey, yeah, does he want kids?
He's open to not having children, so. I think that for me, that
I
would
need
be
you
the
to buy me a lottery ticket.
Girl, I be manifesting. We had to talk about that. I manifest exactly what I want.
Okay.
Speaking of which, I have a manifestation class coming up, master class talking about manifesting your mate. But I literally manifested this person to the T. So I'll talk about that a little bit more. But no, in this situation, I think that when I date somebody who doesn't have children, I feel a little pressure to have a child for them because I have a small child. So it's not like I can say, well, my kid is grown. I have a little baby. I could have another one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I would feel obligated if you want one to do it.
Right, but we have to be married.
Of course.
Yes.
Of course.
Yeah, I totally understand.
Yeah.
Like if I dated a person who doesn't have any kids, I'm just like, okay, because she's so small.
You can do it.
I can do it because I would rather her have a brother
to
or a
grow
sister
up
anyway.
with. That's how I feel. Same thing.
So I agree. If you don't have a kids and you want one and we marry, let's do it.
Yeah. Marry me and the sky's the limit.
Right.
What you want to do? How many you want? What you
Let's do this thing.
Well, let's talk about your sex drive after 40. Yes, because for me, I find that it has increased.
Oh.
It's like when I was 20 and just discovering it. I'm like, what's happening? What's happening right now?
Okay, well, luckily mine has stayed stable.
Okay. Which, like, so for me, that's why I feel like, sometimes younger men, or if you real active and you take care of yourself and you able to, keep up, because that's important.
Right.
I don't want to feel like, because sometimes men will make you feel like something's wrong with you. You're a fiend. Right. You a nympho.
Right.
It's
like I like what I like.
And either you got it or you don't.
Right. Either you make me want to get some or you don't.
Or you don't.
Maybe it's you.
Have you considered that it might be you?
Right. It can't be me all the time. Like, what are you doing?
Or not doing.
Make me want this.
Or not doing.
Right.
Yes.
So.
Yeah, for me, I am allergic to selfish men.
Oh. Okay.
If you are selfish in any way, I like a generous man. Generous with your time, with your money, with your talent, with your
third leg.
With your generous in every way.
Okay.
If you're not generous,
not generous, you don't want them.
I don't want no parts.
Okay,
no, because at this stage in my life, I know what I want.
Right.
And I think that's the beauty. Like for me, it's like I know what I want. So either you gonna do it or you don't have to.
Right.
It's okay. Choose one.
Yeah, I like generous men too, but you can be generous with your time,
Yeah.
generous with of course,
Knowledge.
money, knowledge.
Of course.
So yeah, I do. That's a nice key factor I'm gonna have to add in.
Yeah, generous. You need somebody generous. And if you're really smart, because sometimes I'll be like, I'll have a thought like, oh, I wish I could blah, blah, blah. And they'll send me like an article, how to do that. Or because it doesn't, one guy I was dating, I could say like, I was setting up my office and I was like, I need like this kind of monitor, and then he just sent me like all the Amazon links to set up my office.
That's nice.
So generous with your resources, with your knowledge. It's not necessarily about paying a bill. It's
and
just
his personal time, because it took him some
he
time to research all
everything
those
I
things.
need and just sent me the links, and I could just
Nice.
go to Amazon and get it. Yes, I'm not asking you to buy it, because obviously we're at places where we could do it ourselves.
Right.
But just for him, he works in IT, so he's like, this is what you need to do. This is what you need.
But thank you for thinking enough of me to send me the links at least to point me in the right direction.
That's what I need, because it's about partnership, right? And I think also what I find is important for me is reciprocity.
Okay.
Like, if I'm giving, you give.
Right.
If you give, I'll give back. Like, it's gotta be, we gotta match each other in that way.
What happens when the scales get unbalanced though?
Yeah, that's a problem.
And then you're giving more and receiving less.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that again. So for me, that's a boundary.
Okay.
Because I was in a relationship that was very unbalanced.
Okay.
I'm not doing that again.
Okay.
So that's why I said I need to see that you're generous and you're not a taker. I'm allergic.
Okay.
If you're a taker, it's not gonna work.
Okay.
Off the rip, I'm gonna be like, that's why I keep these others on deck, so I can just be like, you're dismissed. Next.
Thank you.
Yeah, because somebody's waiting in the wings to get on in the rotation. So if you want to act up, you can.
Stage draft.
If you want to act up, you can. It's all good.
You gonna pull them up from the bench?
Yeah, there are people literally on the bench. They don't mind. Like, hey, I'm busy right now. I'm occupied. Hey, let me know when there's a spot available. So play with it if you want.
Yeah, I haven't had a bench lately. Yeah.
Well, get one. It's quite fun. Okay, so we've talked about, how you dated before you had the baby, dating now. So what would it take for you to be locked down and like taken off the market?
Oh, for me to be locked down and taken off the market, I guess it would have to be someone who, I guess, loves my child as much as they love me.
Yes, that's important.
And if they do have a family already, I would like to see them at least try to attempt to blend it, so that we can be a cohesive unit, because
Yeah.
that's what I want.
That's important, yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, someone who's loving, sensitive,
Yeah.
thoughtful. Like, it doesn't have to always be about like monetary things, but like you said, if you mention something one day, like if I'm like, oh man, I would really love an old school Atlanta Atlanta Hawks Pac-Man hat.
Yeah.
And like next week, it's like at my door.
Exactly.
I'm like, yo, like the hat really probably only costs $24.
But it's the thought.
But it's the
and the
thought.
effort, yes.
And so like that's what I want. I
Effort
want
and
somebody-
intention, I tell people that gets you a long way.
Right. I want somebody who loves me. Like, And
Absolutely.
we have a good time. Like, I
Yes.
don't want to stick in the mud.
No.
I'm a little, eclectic sometimes. So I want somebody who's down to do a beer crawl with
Yeah.
me with a weird costume on, for Christmas
I
time.
remember one time you were dressed like a unicorn or something.
Yes, that was Halloween. My birthday is November 1st, so I usually party on, Halloween until my birthday. But yeah, I was a unicorn.
Yes.
But yeah, so I want somebody who's fun. Like, if I want to put up on a blow up dinosaur suit and I'm just outside your job, like, hey, love you one day. Like, I don't, like,
That
at
would
least
be
laugh at me.
hilarious.
Like, take it all in fun
Yeah.
and in stride, because, we only have one life to
No,
live.
it's true.
And I'm trying to have fun while I'm here. And I
Yes.
want a partner
Yes.
who will have fun with me
That's
too.
important, yeah.
I don't care if we look crazy to the rest of the world, as long as we having fun.
That's all that
I
matters.
care about.
That's all that matters.
If you see two little unicorns going down the street, it's us,
Right.
and we having a good time.
No, that's important. You
Yeah.
find somebody who's at par with you in
Exactly.
that way, like who doesn't care about what other people think and is
Right.
focused on what you're building together. That's
exactly.
important.
But
yeah.
he's also very smart and
You
intelligent.
have to be smart.
Right.
Like I will
Gets his-
tell you.
has his stuff done.
Yeah.
Gets his stuff, done, and just
Yeah,
be a
intelligence
corporate
gets
thug.
me every time. Like a smart man, that's it. Like, really is the key. That's the
Right.
key ingredient. I can't even do nothing with you if you're not smart.
Right.
Not even gonna happen.
Like, we can't even hold a great conversation
Then,
because
no.
you don't know what I'm talking about.
No, and I don't want to be explaining like I'm a dictionary. I'm explaining what this means and what this word. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Grammar is important to me. Also, your usage of grammar, but also if you text in with a whole lot of no.
Like Pacific.
This is not remedial
Right.
English. I'm not gonna do this with you.
Right. Irregardless.
I'm not doing this with you. I'm so sorry. You can call it whatever you want, but
Right.
I'm too grown for that. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. But yeah, so those kinds of things are important. So if you found somebody that was focused on you,
Right.
and
Silly.
and you're
Fine.
not a stick in the mud. Fine. Okay, what's
Fine.
fine to you? What is fine?
Fine is being able to look down and
Oh.
and see his.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have to have a stomach blocking the view.
Oh.
Yeah.
What
so
about
I like height and weight proportionate men.
Okay.
So I don't, that if you 6'7" and you're like 280 pounds, you're probably nicely, built. Like if you're 5'8" and 170 pounds, you're nicely built. So I'm not gonna put like a weight limit on
You
it,
just
but I
want it
just
to
want you to
look-
be height and weight proportionate.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
So whatever that is in the middle, and you all balled up into one fine piece of chocolate.
Chocolate, is that a skin complexion preference, or are you
No.
just saying chocolate in general?
I'm just saying
Yeah.
chocolate in general.
Okay.
It could be white chocolate.
Right, because there's some nice white
Yeah,
chocolate
it could be
out there.
cappuccino.
Yeah,
It could
cafe
be
au
latte. Right. Dulce de leche. Like, I don't care. As long as it's balled up and it's fine. Like, I'm good.
And into you, because that's what's very
Exactly.
important is having somebody that's focused on you.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I love it.
Yes, and able to share themselves with my daughter as well.
Yeah, that's so key.
Yeah.
So many people I find are selfish, and they don't understand. Like, I could be as moms, we could be talking, and the baby doesn't understand that you're talking,
No,
and
she
they're like,
doesn't.
"Mama," and you got to stop this
Right.
conversation and tend to the kid. And sometimes men are not open to that, and they're
No.
like, "Well, we talking, yeah, we talking,
We
but
talking, but
she
she
come
come
first."
first. Like,
Period. Like,
sorry,
I got
sir.
you. Hold on, I'm gonna tend to her, and I'll be
Right.
back. So that kind of thing. And I also dated somebody who wanted to monopolize my time. We gonna be shut off for 3-4 days.
Can't do that.
Can't do that. Not in this city with my baby. Like, you got to understand that you have to share my time with
Right.
her. Either you can or you can't. It's
Right.
okay. If you can't, it's okay. But we're not gonna be compatible. Yeah. So I think understanding the dynamics that comes with dating a mom, a single
Yes,
mom or a
yes.
single dad,
Right.
is very important. And not being selfish.
Be patient.
Being considerate.
Yes.
Because yes, we're moms, but we're also women.
Yes.
And so that mommy time, once they go to bed,
Right.
Now I can be with you
Right.
and we can
Text
be.
me, I'm
Yeah.
outside. She sleeps.
Once that shift is up, you know, we
Right.
turn it back on. And I think
Right.
that understanding that you're a woman also, always.
Right. I still want to be wined and dined, and you know, I'm somebody's mom, but I'm still me.
Yeah.
Like, you know, sometimes I want to be Crystal again.
Yeah.
And not mommy.
And it's really because that's a uniform that you put on.
Right.
You put on this uniform, but you can take that uniform off and you still Crystal
Right.
at the same time. So
Get 'em
yeah,
back outside
right. Yes.
in these streets.
Well, what else would you like people to know about dating with a child? This has been good.
Well, thanks, Shay. Just be open to new experiences. And like you said, the guy who thought about the fact that he, you know, researched Dave and Buster's.
Yeah.
So just be willing to try new things. Like if we have to go to Botanical Gardens to see the lights.
That would be
you
such
know.
I think I'm gonna do that tomorrow. As a matter of
Yeah,
fact, that would be
I
such a great
know.
date.
Yeah,
Because
or-
it's good for the kid, but then you can have time too.
Exactly.
So understanding that and planning
Right.
things that you can do together. Now, I will say you have to trust that person before you can get to that point of
This is
introducing
true.
them to your
This is
child.
true.
This is your prized possession.
Yes.
So you want to make sure this person is not a criminal or, you
Right.
know, somebody that's trustworthy.
No shady background.
You got to know that. That's one of the things I do as a matchmaker is run background checks because
Right,
I
you
don't
have
ever
to.
want to put two people together and come to find out he's a child molester. I mean,
Exactly.
if I don't know and if you don't
Right.
have a record, that's one thing. But if I can find that out, I'm going to tell you.
Yeah, that's why we're going to have to almost be married before you meet my child.
Yeah. So I don't have to be almost married, but I do need to trust you. I need to trust that you really are into me. You
Right.
have good intentions, etc. But yeah, because like that date, if I was waiting, I wouldn't have had it. So
Right.
it was cool, and I was there. So it wasn't like he
Right.
was with her by herself. Yeah.
Exactly.
So I would be open to dates like that. You know,
Yeah,
once I
that's
know
okay.
I trust you.
Yeah. After the trust has been
Yeah,
developed.
the trust
Yeah.
has to be
Yeah,
established. Of
it's
course.
not like second date, like, hey,
No,
no, my girl.
no,
Like,
no.
Mm-mm.
And there's some people that I dated 8 months and never met her. So it
Yeah.
just depends. You know, everybody don't get the opportunity.
This is
it's
true.
an opportunity.
It is.
to meet my prized possession.
Right.
And so for me, it's not a time frame. It's a comfortability. It's when I feel that you're not selfish, that you are a man of character and integrity, and I can trust you.
And you're honest.
Exactly. Yeah.
I understand.
Because you know, it's stepdaddy tryouts too.
Hey.
That's how I look at it. Like
As a part of your tryouts, do they wear gray sweatpants?
You need to come with gray sweatpants, some pay stubs, you know, background check, credit check. I got, you know, it's
Right.
stepdaddy trials.
Hey,
I need to know if
stepdaddy
you
trials.
can be stepdaddy
You know
material.
who's getting drafted?
You're right. And who's
know?
being released?
First pick of the Shay draft.
Who's being released? Yeah,
Right.
stepdaddy trials is a real thing. It's really happening.
Yeah, you need a franchise player. I do too.
Yes. Number one draft pick.
Right.
But thank you so
You're-
much,
you're so
Crystal.
welcome.
This was really good.
Oh, good. I'm
And
glad
I'm
I had
looking
fun.
forward to learning more about Crystal after, you know, Crystal with the baby, Crystal with
Crystal with the
Kyle.
baby. I know,
Yes.
Crystal and Kyle.
This is a new person.
This is all new. I'm still in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Pre-Kyle is still in there somewhere.
Yes. Yeah, I know. I get it. Well,
Yeah.
for me, it's the opposite. Like I feel like I had just lost myself, lost in the sauce in my previous relationship. That I lost me, and so this is like a rediscovery of me. This is
Okay.
Shay. Like this is a rebirth. So
Okay.
the person I am right now probably didn't exist before Ava.
Oh.
You know, because I lost her.
Right.
It's such a horrible thing to do is to lose yourself. But
It
I
is.
did. But I
It is.
completely lost myself. And so this is my rebirth, my
Well, I'm
reclaiming
loving
my
it.
time.
I'm loving it because you extra fine now,
Yes,
ma'am.
girl. Yes,
Hey.
that's why I'm outside.
As you should be.
Yes, that's why I'm outside. But no, it's a rebirth and really reclaiming my time and really saying, this is me. This is who I am. You on it or not? You gonna get on board or not? So
Right.
it's fun. I'm having a great time. So dating, you can actually date
You
after
can.
you have children.
You can.
It still can be fun and exciting. You have to be intentional. You have to have effort. You have to be consistent.
Yes.
But it can definitely happen. And so
Yeah.
single moms get married every day. Single dads get
They
married
do.
every day.
They do.
And I think it's so cute when the kids, like I've seen it where like let's say that the dad has a son and the mommy has a daughter, and the son will have a little poster, will you, and the daughter will have marry me, and that's how they're proposing to the mom.
Yes.
Or I've seen like weddings where they incorporate the kids into the wedding.
Right.
So it happens every day. Single parents get married every single day.
True. Yeah, I love it when the guy, I guess he's the fiance, but actually the husband because they're at the wedding.
Yeah.
But he's also like marrying the
daughter too.
Yeah,
I've
he's
seen
like,
that.
Will you, I do. Will you
Yeah,
marry
he
me
might
too?
give her a necklace or something.
Exactly, and I think that's so sweet.
To incorporate it, because like I said, stepdaddy trials, like this is like somebody that potentially you will be helping me raise Ava. Like for me, I'm very cognizant of whomever I date is possibly her stepfather. So I'm evaluating, that's the data that I'm collecting. Could you be a good stepfather for her?
Yes.
I'm also evaluating that because we're a package.
Yes.
You can't separate the two.
No, you can't.
Yes, so I have to evaluate if how patient you are. If we're together and she running around, how do you react? What do you say?
Right.
I like that, like course correction. Like, no, we're going this way. Like, I'm looking for that. Are you gonna do that? Now, if you yell, we got a whole nother conversation.
We got a whole nother
issue. So I'm looking at all of it. This is all data that I'm collecting. You have to evaluate that to make a decision. So anyway, this has been great. Thank you so much for being our first guest on Upper Echelon Matchmaking Podcast. And stay tuned next week for another episode. You can find me at upperechelonmatchmaking.com for more information.